Joe Keys.
Really well put together, the biggest match of his career here tonight in Baltimore.
The Octopus, Jonathan Gresham.
Nice. Got him that time, but Keys rolling through. Head scissor takeover. Oh, tilt-a-whirl. Backbreaker again. And Keys follows him in. Knife edge chop. Joe Keys down to one knee. Gets the momentum. It's a great small package. No, back to his feet. Look at the power of Keys. Beautiful. Oh, this is how he beat Caballero. This is what he looked for, to wear Caballero down.
Yeah, he's sitting on the back. Wow, he didn't sit down
That is
enough
rope break
on
number
it.
2, used by Jonathan Gresham.
And look at Keys. Keys with the headbutt, the flying headbutt.
Strike while the iron's hot.
And Gresham, 2, goes for rope break number 3.
Wow, now Gresham went half.
That is the third and final rope break, used by Jonathan Gresham.
And Keys, European uppercut, plants Gresham, pops up, hits Guri, rattles Joe Keys, and it's Gresham. German suplex back to his feet. Gresham, the octopus, the pure champion, sent to the mat by Joe Keys. Gresham, midsection, flip up and over, creates what he needs for the hip toss, rolls through, maintains control of the hammerlock.
That's it. That's
Wrenches the hammerlock, and it's over.
The Bouncers. Here's the trend. He's Matt Taven. Mike Bennett.
And Malonis sends Taven down with an assist from the bruiser. Taven off the ropes.
Flight of the Conqueror.
Aurora Borealis.
That could do it, Riccaboni, right there.
1, 2.
Nice.
Oh, Brawler breaks up the pin with a superplex. Gets the superplex, and it's Beer City Bruiser up top. Frog splash,
man.
nobody home though. Taven able to roll out of the way, and Bennett with a spear.
Just to let him know he's still in the game.
Catches him. Taven looking for it. Looking for it. He got it, a Trent Center, and it's over.
The winners of this match by submission, the team of Matt Taven and Mike Bennett.
Hashtag get Danhausen 1 million views.
I'm Quinn McKay, and I'm here to update you on everything going on for the week in Ring of Honor. Before I get to that, I do have a note here that I came back to that says that I have to say something nice about Matt Taven. I can only imagine who left that note for me. So my nice thing about Matt Taven is I think you're incredibly trendy. So hashtag follow the trend. First off, tomorrow is the big day, Wednesday, February 3rd, 2021 at 7 p.m. Eastern. It's the rematch that Bryan Johnson asked for. Bryan Johnson versus Danhausen. The campaign is ongoing, hashtag get Danhausen 1 million views. So let's take a closer look at this highly anticipated rematch.
I have never hid from the fact that I grew up loving professional wrestling. I love the monsters, the midgets, the high flyers, the brawlers. I love the ones that told us to eat our vitamins or drink a beer. I even loved the ones with face paint on. And as I grew older, I learned about the sport of professional wrestling. I watched it perfected by the American Dragon, by a Samoan submission machine, and by some bozo from the UK with spiky hair carrying an iron. And I told myself that I was going to work every damn day of my life until I could stand here and say that I am one incredible professional wrestler. And that's exactly what I am. I am the Mecha Bryan Johnson. But the problem is, nobody's talking about me. Instead, there's some vocal minority that thinks that since they sit on their parents' couch and listen to one podcast and read one damn book, that they know what it takes to be a good professional wrestler. So they start a hashtag and they get this clown, Danhausen, a contract at Ring of Honor based off a hashtag. I sacrificed my whole damn life to be here, and he got a job off a hashtag because some fat ass on his couch thinks he's funny? So then I go to Final Battle. A professional wrestling fan my whole life. It should have been the best damn day of my life. But as I look across the ring and I see you with your stupid tattoos, your Halloween costume, and your face paint. You became a parody of what I love. You are mocking the sport that I dedicated my life to. So for you, Danhausen, it was a problem because I'm an equal opportunity ass whooper. I don't care if you're cross-dressing, wearing face paint, or strutting right to me. I took that ass whooping to you. At Final Battle, I beat you pillar to post and made my message clear. And with all credit due, you hung. You hung with the Mecca on the biggest stage that we possibly could be on. But in the end, if the ref wasn't a member of the Three Blind Mice, I would have had my hand raised. You had to cheat to beat me, Danhausen, the same way I've been cheated out of every opportunity I deserve. Time after time after time, Ring of Honor and every bozo on the internet has passed me by for the likes like you, and I'm sick and tired of it. So now, your contract is in hand. Congratulations. The next thing that's in hand is going to be me putting my boot in your ass. Danhausen, I told everybody at Final Battle that I was going to kill the internet. So today, Danhausen, I put the final scoop of dirt into your grave. But when they read the tombstone, it's going to read Mecca versus everybody.
Well, Danhausen came from someplace far away, and it's Danhausen. Where do you ask Danhausen who Danhausen is? It's this fellow behind the camera is asking Danhausen questions that he should know. Danhausen's very famous, very evil. Everyone knows who Danhausen is. Everyone loves that Danhausen. Where are the two cameras on Danhausen and all these lights? What are all these lights? It's an interrogation of some sort. Who's this? Ah, yes, Danhausen, again, from someplace far away, as he's already said multiple times now. He wanted to become a professional wrestler, if you will, because it gets him on television. And then, again, he becomes more famous, can take over the world. Yes, he's on every television in every single home. See, look at this. Danhausen sees you through your television right now, and or internet, whichever it may be. Danhausen does not care. Danhausen only cares about being rich and famous. Yes. Anyways, Danhausen here. Danhausen finally won his contract at Ring of Honor. And now he has many sacks of money and is very famous, very evil. Oh, yes, that's right. The blimp. Where's Danhausen's blimp? He won this contract. He's promised the Dave Honor said, I'll give you a blimp if you win this contract. And yet again, Danhausen has no blimp. Where is this Dave Honor? Danhausen's waiting. If you swear, Danhausen gets taken off the air. So Danhausen says, no swearing, because then we get taken off the television or internet, and then Danhausen cannot be famous. It's quite simple, really. But I see you ask Danhausen why he carries around teeth. Who doesn't? Who doesn't? Anyways, Danhausen here. I'll tell you, they're quite nice. When Danhausen was first traveling around, he'd collect different teeth from different people, and they're disgusting. So, Danhausen would feed them to his opponents, which makes them almost throw up, and he kicks him in the face. It's quite the distraction, but it's a legal distraction. The referee cannot disqualify you for pouring teeth in someone else's mouth. Good brain. Hello, I am Brian Johnstone. I am a loser, and I yell at internet people because, you know what? Danhausen doesn't really know what else he says because he doesn't really pay attention to him. He just keeps yelling at Danhausen. He swears quite often. This fellow's been a menace to Danhausen for weeks. Danhausen beat this fellow within probably 2 minutes. 1, 2, 3, won that contract right in the middle of the ring. But this fellow got back on the internet, wrote an email or something, and he said, I've lost my match, but now I must avenge myself. So, I have to fight Danhausen again and try to embarrass him on TV. But he will not, because Danhausen is all-powerful, very evil. So, there's no stopping Danhausen. Danhausen's unstoppable. Is that enough for you?
Don't miss the premiere on our YouTube page tomorrow at 7 p.m.
Hashtag get Danhausen 1 million views.
We saw Jonathan Gresham successfully defend his Pure Championship against Joe Keys. Just to catch you up to speed, recently we saw a 4-way dojo gauntlet that was set up by ROH dojo trainers Will Ferrara and Gresham himself to award one of the dojo students a title shot, and the board of directors agreed, despite the dojo students not being ranked. And Joe Keys proved, and I mean that in a very big way, that he deserved to be ranked and took Gresham to the limit. And despite the loss, his stock has been elevated. I was able to get comments from Gresham immediately following the bout. I'm Quinn McKay, backstage at Ring of Honor, and we just watched the Octopus, Jonathan Gresham, go toe-to-toe with one of his students and successfully defend the Ring of Honor Pure Championship. Gresh, I have a very important question for you. One, that match was amazing. You and Joe really took it to the limit. Are you proud of his showing today as his coach?
Of course I am. Keys, you brought it tonight. You did everything that I taught you in training, but you did even more. You proved that you have heart for this sport. More importantly, for this company. You are foundation material. With men and women like that coming out of our system, I look forward to seeing the future of Honor. It looks bright to me. I am the foundation, and each and every one of my students will be as well. Welcome to the new era of Honor, where professional wrestling freedom reigns supreme.
Hell of a coach. The Pure Division news doesn't stop there. The Mile High Magnum Dak Draper is now in the ROH Pure Division. Originally in the Television Championship Division, Draper submitted a request to the Board of Directors to be moved, and it was granted. Currently, Draper is 1-0 in the Pure Division, and gunning for Gresham and the Pure Championship. Also on the latest edition of ROH TV, we saw the OGK, Mike Bennett and Matt Taven face off with the Bouncers. After a hard-fought match that saw the OGK come out victorious, the Righteous unfortunately decided that that was the right moment to make their presence felt. So let's go back and see what happened after that match. Plus, I was able to find the Bouncers backstage shortly after returning from the ring.
You gotta capitalize on opportunity, Bruiser. You gotta capitalize. You dig what I'm saying? You gotta...
Vince!
You need to take these opportunities, Bruiser. You need to move it or lose it, man. Think about it. Think about it. Think about it, Bruiser. Dig what I'm saying, man.
Nothing to think about.
He doesn't want him to give him a toast of honor.
Oh, God! And Bruiser plants Taven with the bottle and plants Bennett with the DDT, and Malonis is in shock. What? What have we just seen, fans? We've run out of time. We gotta go.
I'm Quinn McKay, backstage at Ring of Honor. I'm going to try to grab a couple words with Bruiser because that was kind of intense, Bruce. I have actually a question for you because I remember this time last year where Vincent extracted a tooth from your mouth and then threw a dart in your back. Do you remember that?
Hey, Quinn, you know what they say, in order for wounds to heal, you have to make peace with the demon that caused them. Yeah.
What the hell was that?
Hey, man, back off.
What
right?
was that?
Back off, man.
That's not how we play, man.
We do what we do to win.
That's
There's
not
no
how we
friends.
do things.
We do everything we do. I'm sick of being in the back seat.
I've known
sick
those
of being
guys for
second
16
place.
years,
It doesn't
man.
matter. There's no friends in wrestling either. You got my back or you don't. I'm done being second. I'm done being everybody's little bitch.
It's not how we do things, man. Damn it.
In an attempt to gain order over the situation, the ROH Board of Directors have enacted a rule that Matt Taven and Vincent cannot be in the same ring at the same time. Despite constant fines and warnings in the past, it appears as though Vincent is finding loopholes and terrorizing Taven regardless of the new rule. The Board of Directors is currently in the process of handling the latest situation involving the OGK, the Righteous, and the Bouncers, so I'm sure we'll have updates on that shortly. In other more exciting and less dire news, the upcoming episode of ROH TV this weekend features the return of Cheeseburger, or should I say, the world-famous CB. CB returns and he has, shall we say, leveled up. He will go one-on-one with Hot Sauce Tracy Williams in a Pure Rules match. Let's hear from both of those athletes now.
Formerly known as Cheeseburger, Ring of Honor, it's good to be back. New me, new swag, built different. I am world famous CB. I was born and raised in Trenton, New Jersey, and me and my dad would just sit there and watch the TV and enjoy wrestling. And that was just something I grew up loving, and that eventually grew into me actually deciding to become a professional wrestler at the age of 17. I started at the Ring of Honor Dojo in 2010, and right away I was going to all the shows, helping out. Any job they needed me to do, I was there to do it. And I officially graduated in 2012, and from there I started having matches on the independent circuit. And it wasn't until 2013 where I unofficially made my Ring of Honor debut where I was christened Cheeseburger. Charlie Haas was in the ring cutting the promo, and I was just ringside grabbing toilet paper and all the things the fans were throwing at him. And he called me in the ring and began just screaming at me on the microphone. And just in the middle of the ring, he called me Cheeseburger. And 600 fans in that arena all began chanting Cheeseburger right away.
Listen to the fans! They're chanting Cheeseburger in Baltimore!
And from there, I was Cheeseburger. Cheeseburger was the best and worst thing that happened to my wrestling career. It got me to great heights. It took me to Japan. I wrestled in the Tokyo Dome 3 times. I've wrestled in front of 35,000 people. I got to tag with my mentor, my hero, Liger, a legend. He even passed down the Shote palm strike to me. I can't begin to thank the fans for embracing Cheeseburger as they did and getting me to those heights. But the perception of Cheeseburger, it's a novelty act, and I completely understand why. It's a guy coming out with a stuffed cheeseburger hat, throwing burgers to the fans. I completely understand that, but I'm not a novelty act. I've been doing this 10 years. I'm a 10-year veteran. I'm a trainer to the future generations. There are people in the Pure Title Tournament that I helped train. I taught them holds. I am going to break through that ceiling that the name Cheeseburger placed on me. Tracy is a tremendous competitor. He made it to the finals of the Pure Title Tournament. He is one of the best we have in Ring of Honor. As a technical wrestler, he's very bare bones. He's very basic. Black trunks, hard strikes, very catch as catch can. But if I had to use one word to describe my style, it would be rhythm. Very smooth, very calculated. You know, you hear a good song, a good beat, it makes you want to get up out your seat and take notice, makes you want to move, makes you want to dance. And when the fans see my style, I want them to look at me and they just want to get up and say, oh, that world famous CB, he's good. He's smooth, he's clean. In this match with Tracy, you're gonna see holds you've never seen before. I'm gonna tie him up in so many knots he won't know what to do. Because there's not a hold I can't counter. There's not a limb I can't bend, and there's not a joint I can't manipulate. Throughout my career, my size has been my biggest disadvantage. Through years and years of study and knowledge and experience, I've turned that disadvantage into my biggest advantage in the ring. My size allows me to slip in and out of holds easier than most. My size gives me the speed to outmaneuver my opponents. My size gives me the flexibility my opponents wish they could have. In this match with Tracy, I'm going to show that all these disadvantages, all these hindrances, all these anchors that weighed me down are now my greatest weapons. The last 10 years of Cheeseburger, it's been a fun ride. Like, I thank all you fans for being there with me, getting me to new heights, but now I've leveled up. I'm built different. Now I write the music. I have the rhythm. And Tracy, you're gonna feel it.
A large part of what the foundation is all about is giving underutilized professional wrestlers, underappreciated professional wrestlers, the opportunity to prove that they can succeed based on what they do in the ring and nothing else. Look back to Final Battle. Rhett Titus, somebody who's spent so many years with Ring of Honor but has never fully realized his potential, showed up looking like a new man, looking like a professional wrestler. And he took that opportunity and he thrived in that environment. And so now I sit here looking forward to a match against Cheeseburger, somebody who might call themselves underappreciated, who might call themselves underutilized. And Cheeseburger, I wouldn't disagree with you. But what I'm here to do is give you the opportunity to prove everybody wrong, to give you the opportunity to show that you are more than a novelty. But Cheeseburger, I'm not here to give you an easy ride. I'm here to give you the stage to do that. I look at Cheeseburger and you can't help but talk about his accomplishments. Cheeseburger has been to Japan multiple times, multiple tours with New Japan Pro Wrestling. He's wrestled in the Tokyo Dome, something every wrestler dreams of, teamed with Jushin Thunder Liger. I don't take any of these things lightly, Cheeseburger. I'd be a fool to do so. I've had people take me lightly in the past and I use it against them. That's not gonna happen, Cheeseburger. You will not be able to use that against me because I don't take you lightly. And Cheeseburger, you talk about all your training, and I see it. I know how dedicated you are. You talk about your knowledge of professional wrestling, how much you've studied it, how obsessed with it you are, all the techniques you've learned and developed. And I see it, I believe you, I see how hard you're working, but Cheeseburger, There is a level in professional wrestling that cannot be achieved through knowledge, that cannot be achieved through what you know, not even who you know or what you know how to do, the techniques you know. No, there's a level that you only get to when you survive a certain kind of fight. When you get in the ring and you survive hell. Cheeseburger, I've been there and I haven't seen you do it yet. Now's your chance, Cheeseburger. Now's your chance to prove that you are a fighter, that you are more than a novelty. I'm happy to give you that shot, but what I'm not gonna do is take it easy on you. Not for a second.
Also on the upcoming episode of ROH TV, the main event will be an absolute war. Brody King, PCO, and the Briscoes battle La Facción Ingobernable members ReDragon Lee and Bestia Del Ring, and the ROH Board of Directors have selected the mercenary Flip Gordon to replace Kenny King, who was unable to appear, unfortunately. This 8-man tag will be as hard-hitting as it gets, so let's take a closer look.
Roosh, your family cost me the World Heavyweight title that I had in the palm of my hand. Your father hit me in the head with a chair. If the Ungovernables want to get violent, I know a few violent men too.
La Facción Ingobernable is the past, the present, and the future, and I will make it of Ring of Honor my empire!
Y'all think y'all ungovernable? What y'all think we is? Do we look governable to y'all? Hell, we will whoop your asses all the way back to Mexico!
Nothing happens unless I say so, Ferros. All of you will rest in hell. No pasa nada.
LFI is very chaotic, and Brody King is like violence incarnate, so I'm sure that's gonna be just fine. As you know, Maria Kanellis-Bennett is at the forefront of our fan engagement initiative that allows fans to share their thoughts and opinions about all things ROH in our Facebook group and hashtag #ChooseYourHonor. Fans have a platform to make their voices heard, and those voices are definitely being heard. Despite not being ranked, it's going to be Bryan Johnson versus Dragon Lee for the ROH World Television Championship. Johnson won a poll on ROH's The Experience Facebook group to determine who among the 6 competitors listed should get a shot at Lee's title. The board of directors are going forward despite the rankings and giving you, the fan, what you voted for. The match will be shown exclusively on ROH's The Experience Facebook page and ROH YouTube channel at a date to be announced at a later time. Listen, I get it. I also like to see Bryan Johnson put into precarious situations to see what he'll do. But I have worked with Dragon Lee a lot recently, and I don't know that I would wish him on anyone, even
Hashtag get Danhausen. 1 million views.
Deppen returns to ROH TV very soon. Shane Taylor gets the next World Championship match. Stipulations you want will be added. It's The Experience, and I, for one, love it. Visit the ROH Facebook group by searching Ring of Honor The Experience and hashtag #ChooseYourHonor now. As always, we continue to deliver fresh content consistently. The weekly article, X-Files, delivers breaking news on a consistent basis on ROHWrestling.com, and Kevin Eck also drops the ROH Strong podcast every Monday. The latest guest is Session Moth Martina. She discusses why she signed with ROH instead of WWE, what it's like being the new person in the ROH locker room, her ROH debut against Sumi Sakai, creating her in-ring persona, participating in death matches and intergender matches, working for Stardom in Japan, and much, much, much more. She's one of the most interesting and lovely people I've ever met, and I absolutely adore her, so you should definitely give it a listen. Remember, there's also Technique Tuesdays with Joe Hendry, another absolutely delightful human, except for the times when he's a bit of a jerk to Dalton Castle. Throwback Thursday, The Honor List, and a very interesting happy hour with the Bouncers that's scheduled to drop tomorrow. Plus, the ROH Pro Shop is open for business 24/7, 365. Also, don't forget to join us for our hashtag WatchROH party this Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern on thetwitter.com. Remember, hashtag get Danhausen 1 million views. That's all I have for you this week. You can follow me on social media at Quinn McKay and Danhausen at DanhausenAD. I don't know what the AD stands for. I should probably ask him that in an interview and do my job or something, but he's so hard to have a conversation with. Like and subscribe to the video to stay updated on all things ROH, and I'll see you next week on Week by Week.
I'm the Metalhead Maniac Sledge. I'm from San Luis Obispo, California, and I'm a hard-hitting son of a bitch. My home life wasn't the best growing up. My dad passed when I was 12 years old, so I fell into a depression after that. My family fell apart. He was like the glue that held everything together. And the only thing that really got me out of that depression, but feeling really angry, was music. At that time, playing music is I started hanging out with the wrong people, and I started drinking. Started drinking around 13, 14 years old, and I just kept drinking and kept partying and getting into trouble. That built up aggression that I had from just being so angry that my dad was my absolute everything. And with him dying the way he did, just out of nowhere, absolutely destroyed me. I wasn't a popular kid in school. I was short, fat, and I got picked on a lot. And every time I came home, my dad always reassured me that everything was gonna be okay. And when you don't have that reassurance, you don't know what to do. So I just rebelled and I got into trouble. When I was 18 years old, I got arrested. After I got arrested, I became homeless. And thankfully, my sister saved my life. You know, I still had that chip on my shoulder, that no one could tell me anything better, and just wanting to lash out at the world. I started fighting, had a couple amateur fights, but professional wrestling, man, and playing music is what I really love to do. And I started playing in a band and started touring, but at the same time, when I was touring in a band, I was drinking, but still loving professional wrestling and still knowing that professional wrestling is what I wanted to do. And I decided to go to professional wrestling school because something was just driving me that way. But I started partying even harder. I got hurt early on in my wrestling career as well, where my L4, my L5, and they told me I should stop wrestling, and I said no, and I just suppressed everything with pain pills. So I was mixing pain pills and alcohol. And that's a pretty deadly combination. And at the time, I was going through a bad marriage. And when you have your wife leaving with your newborn, you don't really have a purpose to live anymore. I'm not supposed to be in this chair right now. I'm not supposed to be here at Ring of Honor. I'm supposed to be dead in some kind of gutter. I dumped all the alcohol down the drain. I dumped all the pills down the drain. And I detoxed. And that was 6 years ago. I haven't looked back. What drives me is professional wrestling and my family. In March of 2020, I signed my official deal with Ring of Honor. And then the world crashes with COVID-19. Here I am, accomplished the goal, got my contract at Ring of Honor, and then the world shuts down. After just waiting and waiting and waiting by the phone, waiting for the phone call, I got it. And I'm facing somebody that I know extremely well from the Ring of Honor dojo, and that's you, O'Shea. Two big guys on the collision course. You've been waiting and I've been waiting. But if you think that I've been at home for the last 7 months and just waiting, no, I've been training. I've been in that weight room. I'm down 40 pounds. I'm as lean and as fast as ever. I've defeated every single demon in my life. And there's no doubt that I'm going to defeat you too.
My name is O'Shea Edwards, and I am the physical embodiment of being undeniable. Born in New York, raised in Atlanta to a 17-year-old mother. We were broke, man. We stayed broke. Beans and Franks, Goober Grape. We didn't have Kool-Aid, you just had red drink. But that was my childhood and I loved it. My mother always told me, hey son, you're gonna have to work twice, 3 times as hard as the other guy, just to get just as far. And I was okay with that, because all I know is work. To the day I die, all I'm gonna be about is that work. I started watching wrestling when I was about 8. I didn't start training until I was about 30. I have a long history of just athletics, high school, college. I even touched the pros for a day. It didn't matter. This is where I wanted to be. this is what I wanted to do. My story at Ring of Honor, 2016. I was less than 2 years in, and I just took a shot. I knew I belonged there. I wanted to be there. And when it was all said and done, they pulled me outside and goes, hey, O'Shea, man, you gave us one hell of a weekend, my guy. This ain't a no. This is a not yet. And I only had 2 words on my mind, game on. And for years, man, I got on that hustle and I got on that grind and I did everything that everybody else wasn't prepared to do. This was about getting mine. This is about making sure that at the end of the day, I'm right where I'm supposed to be. 2018, bam, they did it again. This time things are a little different. It took me 2 days. And at the end of it, they pulled me aside and goes, hey man, how fast can you get to Baltimore? After that, there was nothing left to do but cry. And I don't cry. When I first met Sledge, man, he was a West Coast cat. Came in here big and boisterous, like he owned the world. I wasn't even mad at it. I just smiled, let him do his thing. He's big, he's strong, but guess what, man? It's just at the end of the day, I'm big, I'm bad, and I'm strong too. Doesn't matter what type of friendship I had with Sledge. I've spent years to get where I am. I have sacrificed and I have given up so much to get here. He's in my way. I don't deviate my plan. I don't move for somebody else. Either he will remove himself or I will go through him. It's what I have to do. I didn't come in for friends. If I wanted friends, man, I go join a softball team. I ain't coming for that. I came here to be the best damn wrestler in the world, and he's in my way. He wants to talk about demons and how we overcome this and overcome that. Brother, good for you. You ain't special. I got demons too. The only thing that makes this difference is I've accepted who I am. My demons make me better. When that bell rings, man, my demons gonna make me better than you. Because there's only 3 things, man, you gotta understand. You're gonna see me, you're gonna hear me. And when you feel me, I'm telling you, you will never forget me.
Hashtag get Danhausen 1 million views.